Training is nothing more than breaking down your body so you can build it back up again. And besides trend, sleep is the most important thing you can possibly do for your recovery. So today, I'm going to tell you how you can improve your sleep so you can get stronger and dominate your competition. Tip number 1 has to deal with sleep supplements, because everybody knows about melatonin, how you can take it before bed to help you fall asleep easier, but not many people know about magnesium and why you should be taking it before bed. It's going to help you relax and fall asleep. It's also going to do a lot of other things for your health in general, like reducing your blood pressure, improving the way your body handles sugar, as well as helping your muscles to function more efficiently. So while you can get magnesium through your diet or by taking Epsom salt baths, you may as well just take it in a pill form to get as much in your body as possible. And if you do decide to do that, you should absolutely be getting magnesium glycinate because it actually absorbs in your body better than all the other forms. And whenever I take this before bed, I have the most vivid dreams. So I already know that I'm entering some deep REM cycles where my body's actually recovering. And another supplement you want to take before bed is ashwagandha because it reduces your body's cortisol levels, aka your stress hormone. So by taking this, you're going to reduce your stress and anxiety so you can chill out and actually get some good quality sleep. Tip number 2 is to black out everything. You got to think back to caveman days where when the sun was out, it was daytime, there's light everywhere, and during the nighttime, the sun was down, pitch black. You need to recreate that atmosphere because that's what your body is used to and needs in order to fall asleep and stay asleep. But you kind of notice we live in a world where there are artificial lights everywhere. So you need to go in your bedroom, turn off the lights, and find every single source of light and cut it out. So my heart goes out to all you sumo deadlifters who still have your little Paw Patrol night lights. You gotta unplug those, you gotta cover your blinds, you gotta find all of your sources of light and cover those up, whether that's an Xbox, your laptop, your smoke alarm, etc. And when you're ready to go to bed, put your phone face down, so when the homies text you good night, they're not lighting up your ceiling every single 5 minutes, stopping you from getting a good night's sleep. Building off of that last tip, tip number 3 is to turn your TV and phone off 1 to 2 hours before bed and to snuggle up with a nice, cozy book. Yeah, okay. As good as that book is, how many of you are actually going to follow that? Instead, what you need to do is to make sure you're watching relaxing content before bed. That way you're not watching something super exciting and getting amped up right before you're trying to fall asleep. For example, I know there are things that I cannot watch before bed where I will be pumped up and ready to go and I won't get an ounce of sleep that whole night.
That's too bad. Squeeze it!
Well, there are some things that I know will help me chill out and relax and get ready to go to sleep.
I don't really take my vitamins, I just eat whatever. I don't really do protein shakes. I get protein from my food.
Tip number 4 is to use some kind of white noise. Whether this is your fan or some rain sounds you search on YouTube, you want to be in as deep of a sleep as possible and stay there. You can't have any little distractions disturbing your recovery. And you will not fully appreciate this tip until you live in a noisy ass dorm with neighbors who are halfway across the floor and you can still hear their goddamn conversations. Tip number 5. If you are getting 9 to 10 hours of sleep, that is 9 to 10 hours in which you are not eating or drinking, which means when you wake up, you are very dehydrated. You need to start getting water and electrolytes back in your body as soon as possible. This is especially important if you have a morning training session, because if you don't start refueling as soon as you wake up, your performance will suffer. Tip number 6 is all about setting realistic sleep goals and making it a priority. Back in high school, I used to get away with getting 3 or 4 hours of sleep and still functioning well, but I'm getting old and I can't really do it anymore. Obviously, there are times where you gotta do what you gotta do and get 3 hours of sleep and just compensate with caffeine to get something done. But somehow we get in this little misconception that 9 or 10 hours is a lot of time out of your day, and somehow if I get less sleep, I can get more done. The problem with that is, when you get less sleep, you're more fatigued and you're more mentally foggy. So you're gonna be spacing out the whole time and not actually getting any productive work done. So if you're an athlete, the fact that you're mentally foggy and you're less recovered means you're increasing your risk of injury. Whereas if you get more sleep, you're going to feel better and actually be able to get more done with the time that you do have. I mean, we've all been there at like 1 in the morning when you're working on something that you really should have gotten done like a week ago. And you get to thinking, I don't want to finish this right now. If I get 3 hours of sleep, I can wake up early and get it done. Then 3 hours later, you start snoozing for 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, then 15 minutes. And before you know it, 2 hours of little tiny micro naps and no deep sleep had passed. Whereas if you would have set a 5-hour alarm from the get-go, you would have had 5 hours of deep, solid sleep where you could actually have more energy to get up and do whatever you had to do. Technically, it is true that if you're spending 9 to 10 hours of your day sleeping, compared to 3 or 4, you do kind of have less time for other things, which means you have to spend the time you actually do have with worthwhile things. I guarantee you have some kind of time waster in your day that you could cut out. Obviously, it's a lot easier said than done to have that kind of discipline and to stay on top of things so you can actually get good sleep. But if you are all in on your goals, you will make sleep a priority. And hopefully the tips I gave you today will help you to out-recover your competition. I'll see you later.